First, I'll explain the two lines that were skipped. That evening, Mary and I sat together holding hands as the motion of the ship brought more and more water in through the broken planks. We both felt the end was very near. Now, that evening, the evening when the weather had worsened again, Mary and the author sat together holding hands. They saw the motion of the ship was bringing in more and more water because the ship was very badly damaged, and both felt that the end was very near. They could not help it, the end was very near. And it was January 6th, not 16th, the day the wind eased. Now, here the father who had gone to rest fell asleep because of his tiredness. He woke up at 6 o'clock and thought that they had passed the island. At that moment, a tousled head appeared by my bunk. His son appeared and his hair were very untidy. "Can I have a hug?" He asked his father if he can have an embrace. Jonathan asked. Sue was right behind him. His daughter was also right behind him. "Why am I getting a hug now?" I asked. "Because you are the best daddy in the whole world and the best captain," my son replied. Now the father was curious. He asked him why you want a hug, and the son replied that because you are the best daddy and the best captain. "Not today, John, I'm afraid," the father said. "Not today," because he thought that the island was left behind somewhere. "Why, you must be," said Sue in a matter-of-fact voice. "You found the island." The daughter said, "You must be because you found the island." "What?" I shouted. "It's out there in front of us," they chorused, "as big as a battleship." Now, both the children together, they said, "It's out there in front of us," in a singing voice. I rushed on deck and gazed with relief at the stark outline of Isle Amsterdam. He rushed outside and he saw the complete outline of Isle Amsterdam. It was only a bleak piece of volcanic rock. It was a very empty piece of volcanic rock with little vegetation. Because it was a volcanic rock, it had little vegetation. It must be mostly consisting of minerals. "The most beautiful island in the world," he exclaimed, "the most beautiful island in the world." Why? Though it was just volcanic rock with no vegetation, literally, but it was still the most beautiful island because it was because of this island that they were being saved. We anchored offshore for the night. The next morning, all 28 inhabitants of the island cheered as they helped us ashore. Now they anchored, that is, they put down the anchor so that the ship would not move, and they stayed there for night. And next morning, all the 28 inhabitants of that island cheered. They greeted them very happily and they took them on the shore. With land under my feet again, my thoughts were full of Larry and Herbie. Now, when he had land under his feet, now he could relax. He could think of all those people to whom he was so greatly obliged. He was so grateful to them. Larry and Herbie, they were always cheerful and optimistic. They were full of hope. Under the direst stress, under the most extreme stress, they were still cheerful and very hopeful. He was so grateful to them. And of Mary, who stayed at the wheel for all those crucial hours, and Mary, who had tirelessly been at the wheel during all those critical hours. Most of all, I thought of a 7-year-old girl who did not want us to worry about a head injury, which subsequently took 6 minor operations to remove a recurring blood clot between skin and skull. Now, he thought about his daughter who was just 7 years old and who did not complain about her severe injuries, about her pain to her father, because she could understand that her father was trying to save them. And the injury which later on needed 6 operations, 6 minor operations. The injury was so severe that it needed 6 minor operations to remove a recurring blood clot Recurring means that comes again and again. So, again and again, a blood clot used to come between her skin and skull, which had to be removed 6 times after being operated, and of a 6-year-old boy who was not afraid to die. And he thought of his 6-year-old son who was not afraid to die. He had told his father that he is not afraid to die if all of them were together.